Thank you everyone. My name is B. Raviteja, working as Assistant Professor in EEE Department in MLR Institute of Technology. In last class, I am discussed about basic electrical engineering, basic concepts of DC circuits, what is current, what is voltage, what is power, and basic what are the types of elements. In that I discussed about resistor and Ohm's law. And today I am going to explain about remaining concepts of the DC circuits. Those are remaining elements: inductor, capacitor, and types of sources. Okay, so capacitors. So in regular life, in mobiles and in electronic circuits, in fans also, these capacitors are very much useful. So what is capacitor? So here I am showing different types of capacitors. So simple demonstration of parallel plate capacitor I shown here. Symbol also, electronic symbol of capacitor is also there. Now what is capacitor? So I am saying what is the physical formula of the capacitor, physical definition of the capacitor. So what is capacitor? A capacitor consists of a pair of conductors separated by some dielectric medium. Simply we can say that two parallel plates are separated by one dielectric medium, that is called capacitor. So what is the formula? C is equal to epsilon A by D. Epsilon is the permittivity and A is the area of cross section of a plates. D is the distance between the plates. So epsilon is the permittivity, means it is the ability of a material to conduct electric charge through it, that is called permittivity. Okay, so when we are giving the supply to the capacitor, it starts storing charges. So electric charge is stored in the parallel plates. So then it is called that capacitor is fully charged. Okay, so at the time of starting, when we are giving to supply at the time of t equal to 0, then there is no voltage in the capacitor. When we start giving the supply, when it is fully charged, the total amount of voltage appears across the capacitor. Okay, so now I am giving electrical formula. Simply two parallel plates are separated by a dielectric medium. In that it starts storing charge when we are giving the supply to the capacitor. Supply means supply voltage. So how much we are supplying the voltage, that much will be charges stored. So charge stored is depend upon the supply voltage. So Q is directly proportional to V. So Q equal to CV. C equal to Q by V. That is the capacitance electrical formula. So C equal to epsilon A by D is the physical formula of the capacitor, and C equal to Q by V is the electrical formula of the capacitor. So capacitor is the ability of a material. Capacitor is a element and capacitance is a property. In last class I already told that resistor is an element and resistance is the property of a element. Now capacitor is an element and capacitance is a property or ability. So capacitance is the, what is the ability of capacitor? It starts storage of charges. That is the ability of the charges. Capacitor. Sorry. So capacitor starts storing charge when we are giving the supply voltage to the capacitor. Okay. So when we are giving the supply voltage to the capacitor, what happens? Starts storing the charge. So the charge is called electrostatic field. So capacitor, now we will redefine the capacitance definition. Capacitance is the ability of a material. It stores the energy in the form of the electric field. So it is the ratio of the charge to the voltage. C equal to Q by V. Q is, we already know that the units of the Q means charge means coulombs, voltage means volts. So capacitance formula is C equal to Q by V. So coulomb per volt, that is farad. So I forgot to say one thing in last class. Resistance is a property of a material. It opposes the current through it and it liberates energy in the form of heat. So that is the property of a resistor. Here capacitance is the property, it is a property of a material. It stores energy in the form of the electric field. Now, so here I am showing how the capacitor works. When we are giving the when you are charging capacitor with the help of battery, after that I am connecting a bulb. Then when we are removing the battery, then capacitor starts supply to the bulb, then it will glow. Okay. Now what is how much energy is storing? So already last class I already told that what is power. Now I will explain what is energy, how the energy storage in capacitor and inductor, what about resistor, I will discuss now. So what is energy? Energy is capacity to do work. At the time of power, what I told, if two A and B are there, 1 kilometer is distance is there, and one will reach in 30 minutes, either B will reach in 60 minutes. So who have much power, more power means A. Here energy mean here work time is constant. There in power time is variable. Here time is constant. So the work is different. How I will explain. The energy, once again I am saying energy, the definition of energy is capacity to do work. Capacity to do work, that is called energy. So energy equal to P into T. In our energy meters, in domestic way, in domestic appliances and in our homes, one meter is it, that meter is called energy meter. That energy meter, what happened, how much energy we are consuming in our home, it reads at the time of T, means 30 days. So the bill which is coming to our home, that bill is called energy bill, for energy usage bill. So the units for the energy are kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour is called 1 unit. In that units we will measure our energy. So in that unit only electricity department charging us. So energy is different. So in power, what I told, time is different, but work is constant. 1 kilometer work is constant, but time taken to do that work is different for 2 persons. But in energy, time is constant, the work is different. How I will explain now. There are two homes are there. A and B homes are there. A has fan, AC, TV, fridge, all are there. And for B, one fan, one bulb is there. Who will get more electricity bill? A, because here for actually electricity bill will calculate for the month of 30 days. For A and for B. So the time is constant. But what about energy consumption is different. Here work is different for A and B. Here work means the power consumption is different for A and B. A consumes more power because he had many number of energy consuming elements. Those are fridge, AC and fan, light. But B has only fan and light. So in that way, here time is constant, the work is different. So on that basis, that is the difference between the power and energy. Okay, energy units are same as the units as for work, because to do work we need energy. So work is useful to do work, energy. Energy is useful to do work. Okay, so here now we will discuss how much amount of energy is storing in capacitor and how much energy is storing in the inductor. Now I already told that capacitor starts storing energy in the form of the electric field. So how much amount of energy it is storing, that is W. W means energy stored or work done by the capacitor, that is energy stored by the capacitor, that is called half CV square. That is given by the equation half CV square. See here, so work must be done by an external influence to separate charge between the plates in a capacitor. The charge is stored in the capacitor by means of the external voltage given to the capacitor. So this is the energy storage in the capacitor. Now we will discuss about an inductor. Okay, inductor is a two terminal device. The difference between the inductor and capacitor is capacitor stores energy in the form of electric field, but inductor stores energy in the form of magnetic field. Simply we can say that inductor is a take a piece of wire, make it into number of turns, then it is called inductor. I am showing here two types of inductors. So I already told the type is passive element inductor is a working principle is electromagnetic induction. The inductor is useful in that concept. I will discuss in next classes. Okay, inductor. What is inductor? It is a two terminal element. It consists n number of turns and storing energy in the form of magnetic field. So inductance symbol is L and capacitor symbol is C and resistor symbol is R. The notation of the inductor and resistor, inductor, capacitor is RLC. Okay, the units of resistor is ohms. The units of inductor is capacitor is farad. The units of inductor I will discuss now, that is henries. Okay, so what is inductance? Inductor is a element, inductance is a property. Okay, so what is inductor? It is a measurability of a device to store the energy in the form of magnetic field. It is measured in henries. Here another concept is there. Inductor, what is the main another property of inductor is it opposes the sudden change in current. It opposes sudden change in current. And what is the property of resistor? It opposes the flow of current. What is inductor property? It opposes the sudden change in current. And for capacitor also another concept, another property is there, that is it opposes the sudden change in voltage. Sudden change in voltage. Okay, so inductance, this is physical formula mu naught k n square A by L. This is the physical formula for the inductor, and electrical formula is V equal to L into di by dt. V equal to L into di by dt. Means whenever there is a change in rate of change of current is there, there is a formation of inductor. If there is a rate of change of voltage is there is a formation of capacitor. Okay, here mu naught is permeability in case of capacitor. Epsilon is permittivity. Permittivity means it is the ability of a capacitor to allow the electric charge through it. Permeability means it is the ability of a material, magnetic material, it allows the magnetic field through it. Okay, K is coefficient and N is number of turn and A is the area of cross section, L is the length of the coil. Okay, so see here inductor, I am connecting a bulb to the inductor. Okay, so even in case of inductor also there is a we can discuss about energy storage, because it is also stores energy in the form of magnetic field. How much energy it stores? That is W or E is equal to half Li square. In capacitor W equal to half CV square, because if inductor stores energy whenever current flowing through the inductor, then it starts storing energy in the form of magnetic field. Okay, this is energy stored in inductor. So now we will discuss about types of sources, most important concept, because I already discussed about that sources, the types of systems in electric field. There are AC and DC supply systems. Now that systems will generate the sources or AC supply system, in that we have AC source, in DC supply system we have DC source. What are the types of sources I will discuss here. So in that types of sources there are two types of sources are there. Those are independent source and dependent source. What is independent source? What is dependent source? I will discuss now. So independent source. What is independent source? Means independent, that name itself saying that the source which is independent of any quantity. Okay, it will not depend upon any other quantity in the circuit. So what is independent source? In that, what are the types of sources? That is voltage source and current source. Voltage source and current source. What is voltage source? In that also there are two categories are there. Those are ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. And another category is current source. In that also two categories are there. Ideal current source and practical current source. Next, in dependent source, there are four types are there. So in that same like that, voltage source, current source, but these are dependent on the some other quantity, that is voltage or current. If it a voltage source, if it is depend upon the voltage, it is called voltage dependent voltage source. If it is a current source, it is depend upon the current, it is called current dependent current source. Okay. Next, a voltage source, it is depend upon some other current in the circuit, that is called current dependent voltage source. If it is a current source, it is depend upon the some other voltage in the circuit, that is called voltage dependent current source. So these are the symbols for the electrical sources. First one, DC voltage plus minus is there, that is called DC voltage source. Okay, so arrow symbol is there, that is DC current source. Okay, so dependent sources, the independent sources indicate with the circle, and dependent sources indicate with the rhombus. Okay, so battery and single cell, these are the symbols of the different types of cells and sources. So now here voltage source, in that ideal voltage source, practical voltage source and current source, ideal current source and practical current source is there. So what are those sources? See here, ideal voltage source. In that ideal voltage source means it supplies the voltage. It is dependent upon any other current, because it is a voltage source. It is dependent upon the any other current flowing through the load, because source means it supplies voltage to the, if it is a voltage source, it supplies voltage to the current. If it is a voltage source, it supplies current to the load. Okay, but if load is increases, there is the effect on the source. But in case of ideal source, there is no effect of load current on the source, because ideal voltage source is, it is independent of the any other quantity in the circuit. Okay, that will shows the like that in this diagram. Okay, what about practical voltage? What is so the difference between the practical voltage source is in that in our nature, there are many sources, means total sources are practical voltage source, because ideal source does not exist. Okay, so what is practical voltage source? Practical voltage source, it is depend upon the current. If it is a load changes in a circuit, if a load increases or decreases, the voltage value supplied from the source is also changes. So that is called practical voltage source. It indicates some voltage source in series with the resistor. So we will indicate like that, practical voltage source. Next, ideal current source. So in case of ideal voltage source, what I said, it supplies constant voltage independent of the any other current. Here it is a ideal current source. It is a source, current source. It supplies constant current independent of the any other voltage or independent of the load voltage, because it supplies constant current. Okay, without changing the current, it supplies the constant current independent of the any other voltage across the load. Okay, so in case of practical current source, it is depend upon the load voltage. It is indicated with the ideal current source in parallel with the resistance. Okay, this type of sources are called practical current source. practically current source does not exist, but we will convert it into voltage source. We can convert it into current source with the help of source transformation. Okay, in BJT also at particular point it acts as a current source. Okay, now these are the symbols for the current dependent sources. Plus minus is controlled some dependent voltage source. Arrow means it is a current source, controlled current source or dependent current source. Okay, so these are the concepts. We are till now we are completed about types of sources and the types of elements, RLC. So basing on this, we will discuss another concept, that is Kirchhoff laws. I will discuss in next class. Thank you.